Welcome back to the channel. This is your boy Ahmed at Altcoin Era. Markets are all over the place. It's a shambles right now. Good news is bad news and bad news is good news. We have the new US data for markets. The US added 256,000 jobs in December, blowing past 160k estimate. Crypto markets are falling sharply over the past few days as stronger than expected economic data sent interest rates surging and called into question the idea that the Fed will continue easing monetary policy. The US job growth came in far stronger than expected at 255,000. At 256,000, the news sent BTC sharply lower and bond yields surging higher. This data calls into question the need for the Fed to continue cutting in 2025. The next FOMC meeting is in 19 days, and so far we have a 97.3% expectation that the Fed will continue to hold. They're not going to cut. Currently, we're at 425. Unfortunately, this is bad news for the markets. SPX has hurtled down by 1.4%. This means we're not going to get further cuts, and good news has turned into bad news. All of this momentum and price action prior was bad news equals good news means good news, and now good news means bad news, unfortunately. So it looks like we're heading down to this area at 5,600, but it doesn't stop there. It does not stop there. BlackRock is apparently selling their ETFs. They're no longer buying. And that means there's massive outflows for BTC. Participants are uber bearish. They believe that we are at the top. Is this the actual top? Have we peaked? Are we heading into a bear market? When it rains, it pours in crypto. The Justice of Department in America have decided to sell 6.5 billion Bitcoin seized from Silk Road. Joe Biden has literally 10 days before he leaves. Will this happen before the Trump inauguration? Remember what happened in July, summer last year. The German government held 2 billion worth of Bitcoin and they started to sell. And guess what happened? They lost out. They faced 2 billion losses after selling Bitcoin too early. Germany sold 50,000 Bitcoin it owed earlier this year, and now it seems to regret it as the crypto market surged. If the 49,000 BTC was sold at current price, the value would have been 4.7 billion US dollars, much higher than the 2.8 billion. Donald Trump is extremely pro crypto. I think what he's actually going to do is he's going to move these seized funds into the US Treasury. It's going to belong to the government as a treasury. I like this tweet. It says, the timeline is losing their minds on the dip. Cycle is over is ironically the statement. It's unreal how we got to these levels of pessimism. All bullishness has been killed. All hope lost. All dreams are dead. It's constantly going through a pendulum of despair and joy, grief and joy, fear and joy. And currently at the moment, the whole timeline is bearish. They think that we have peaked. We've hit the top. But January has always been a bearish month for BTC. Look over here. Participants are so fixated on the future, they sometimes forget about the past. This is January 2024. And during this month, we headed down the whole month, really. From here, from the beginning of January all the way to the end of January, near the beginning of Feb, we went down 20%, and it looks eerily similar to what we have right now. From the beginning of January all the way down, we could see a downturn of around 15, maybe 20%. But this is the nature of the beast. This happens time and time again. This, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call a fake out. So I could see something like this where we head down, dip down. Just before the inauguration, Trump heads back into power, and then we continue our ascend higher. We could see lower prices, but don't get shaken out, lads. I like this tweet. It states the following. This is an obvious shakeout, plain and simple. Precision engineered to get you to capitulate on the back of a horrific headline. Pro tip, if you have any conviction, mentally reprice your port 50% down. Grab and get on with your life for a month or two. We did this last summer. Right over here is last summer. It was brutal. If you weren't here, it was really brutal. It was actually. We trended sideways for so long. We were just ranging for such a long time. And then finally, this looked like a shakeout. They thought we were heading to 40K. We all got blindsided. And then, ladies and gentlemen, it went parabolic. And now we're doing the same thing. We're just going to oscillate between this area, then finally head back up one more time. January has mostly been a red month. And also we have the yield curve uninverted. That basically means that we're heading into a economic downturn. Me personally, I think we're never, ever going to see a recession. I made a video just over here. Check it out. Every bear on the planet is taking this data and using it for their theory. Yes, they think we're heading into a recession. We had a big recession in 2008, also in the dot-com era, and a mild recession in the 90s. I don't think we're heading into a recession, but let's just say for argument's sake, we do. The only time we head into a recession is when everyone stops speaking about it. Simple as that. If participants on the timeline and on the financial news continue to debate whether we're heading into a recession or not, most likely we're not having a recession. The only time I believe that we will enter a recession is when everyone stops talking about it. Let's have a look at BTC dominance. You know how much I hate BTC dominance. You guys don't understand. I hate this chart. We're at 58%. Let's head over to BTC price and let's look at some support lines. BTC at the moment had a little bounce while the S&P 500 is tanking. Normally, BTC front runs the S&P 500. The S&P 500 has a larger market cap, vastly bigger than BTC. So normally, BTC is the one that front runs the S&P 500, and then it forms a floor price. So we still have some time to go. Like I said in an earlier video, we're going to enter this area, round trip and enter this area. And let's see what happens when we get the inauguration. Here is the Bitcoin monthly returns. Okay, 2025 was slightly down by 0.05. If I scroll down here, it will give me the average of all of these monthly returns. And the average is a mere 3%. In January, BTC tends to only go up on the monthly by 3%. That's all, folks. However, if we look at February and March, that's double digits for BTC. This is Ethereum's monthly return in January. So 2025, we're down slightly by 2.32%. 2024, up slightly by 0.97. But on average, in the month of January, Ethereum tends to go up by 20%. I believe that Ethereum will outperform Bitcoin in this month. We're going to have to wait and see. Periodically, Ethereum tends to do far better in Q1. As you can see here in February, on average, we go up 17%. In March, we go up 21%. And in April, we go up on average 20%. And then finally, May, we go up 33%. Here is an honorable mention before I start price targets. From $1 million lost, it went down 90% to 2.5 million profit. This diamond hand has finally claimed victory. 2 months ago, this trader spent 5,441 sold, 1.15 million US dollars to buy 20 million Pippin, only to watch it drop 90%. But he didn't sell. Today, as Pippin broke through 180 million market cap, his 20 million Pippin is now worth almost 4 million, with an unrealized profit of almost 2.5 million. Now this, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call diamond hands. I told you, many participants are just trading 5-minute candles, 10-minute candles, 15-minute candles. They can't even look ahead 2 days in advance. Look at Pippin now. Look at it. I think it's the top 5 now. It's at 300 million market cap, maybe 400 by now. And it's being repriced. We have some more bearish news, unfortunately. Unemployment is heading downwards. That means good news equals bad news. The market does not like this at all. It doesn't like this. From an expected rate of 4.2%, we got 4.0%. We need unemployment to head upwards so they can start the money printing. Unfortunately, the Fed is going to continue to hold, and that means risk off for assets. Ethereum price targets. Next buy zone is right over here at 3,000 US dollars. If that doesn't hold, then we're heading, unfortunately, to 2,800 US dollars. If we happen to go all the way here, that's massive confluence right over here, because we hit it multiple times. As you can see, it's trending all the way back here since 2022. Mint layer has unfortunately been a thorn in my feet. This coin continues to hurdle down. Whales continue to dump every time we have any good price action. If this doesn't hold, ladies and gentlemen, like I said previously, we're heading straight to 4 cents. Most likely, I don't think it will hold. I was expecting it to hold at least this trend line right over here. It didn't. It just continues to bleed. Whales continue to distribute. I'm still holding. Solana has made a double top right over here, and we're still consolidating around this wedge. We've done a fake out. Participants believed that we're heading lower. Then we went back into this trade. Another fake out, brutal fake out. It hit this area, didn't even hold above this trend line. A weak attempt from the bulls, and now we're heading further. Next possible buy zone is at $167. Participants are about to lose their head. They're going to lose their shirts. The FUD is going to come thick and fast. This is a shakeout. We've been through this. The OGs on my channel, we've been through this. Come on, guys. We've been through this. How many times has the market tried to shake us out? XRP, same thing. XRP for a very long time. Just be patient. It was going through this wedge right over here, this bullish pennant, and right now it's forming a bull flag. It looks like XRP has the momentum on its side. You got to remember, this bull pennant was here for a very long time. It finally broke out. It could go to this area at $1.50. It has the most confluence right over here, and then finally spring back to $3.55. This is dependent on Trump continuing to be pro crypto, which we all know he is. He holds multiple DeFi coins. He holds Ethereum and many other DeFi coins. He's very bullish in the space. This is the first time we've ever seen a president this bullish. DOT is currently at $6.56. We're just neutral at the moment. We're slightly up by 0.09. It's hitting my trend line perfectly. Hit my trend line multiple times. If it doesn't hold, then we're going to cascade to this area right over here. Probably do something similar to this, where we hit this area as support, go back up there, confirm it as resistance, and head back down. That's the worst case scenario. Link is heading down to this area right over here. This trend line has a lot of confluence. Most likely we're heading to this area and bounce. That will give us a possible correction of around 45%. Let's have a look at the top 10. We have Su. Su is creeping up into the top 10. It's up on the weekly by 17%. It's doing really well. Su continues to defy the odds. It's up on this brutal day 4%, and it's forming the typical staircase pattern. As you can see here, higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows. It looks like it's going to attempt to do another higher high. From the very trough all the way to the peak so far, for a large cap, it's impressive. It's gone up 8x. It reminds me of Ton and the run up it had on Ton. There's going to be a period where it consolidates for a long time. It's heading up. If I was you, if you're new, do not buy right now. Wait for lower prices. Ordinals, wow, it's down 75%. It formed higher. It formed lower highs, as you can see right here. Lower high and lower lows with more lower lows. It looks like it might form another lower low. Unfortunately, ordinals has not got the attention it deserved. There was a time where it was the hottest thing in crypto, and now, ladies and gentlemen, it's having a deep consolidation. The problem is this: liquidity is very fragmented. Everything's not going up at once. It's like DeFi will go up for a period of time, then L2s will have their moment, then Deepin will have its moment. Different categories will have their time in the sun. It's not like 2017 or 2021 where everything went up. The only time when everything goes up is when we have mania. Mania during a raging bull market, when the money printer is fresh off the press. That's when everything just goes up. Spectral is having a harsh time. It's gone down 56%. Spectral is down 1.35% as of now. And it looks like the RSI is really oversold. On the weekly, we're down 33%. On the monthly, I think we're down massively by 60%. It might do a full circle. Now remember, this was an altcoin rally. What we saw was not an altcoin season. I told you we're heading right over here. So that means you're going to have to buckle up for 60-70% retracements. I'm sorry, I don't write the rules. This was just an altcoin rally. We got ahead of ourselves, and just like a race, you know, the sports race like this. This is whiff, and as I predicted, meme coins are dead and buried. It's done. It's done. It's over. It's over. Coinbase couldn't save them, and it still dropped down by a huge amount, by 70%, almost 70%. And a Coinbase listing couldn't save them. Normies don't want to buy pictures, don't want to buy this. They'd rather buy ADA. And I said this was my prediction a long time ago. I said normies, when they come back into the space, what they're going to do? They're going to buy the likes of ADA, XRP, Stellar, those kind of coins. Normies don't want to buy a picture of a dog on a hat. Maybe crypto natives want to buy this, thinking they can sell their bags to normies and make a profit. Pedal formed a triple top, not one top, not a second top, but a third top. So what's most likely going to happen? We're going to retest this area. This is a fake out right over here. We're going to most likely test this area of $3.59. We have gone down so far because this was just an altcoin rally. We got way ahead of ourselves. We're heading back to the starting line. The altcoin rally started around October the 7th. So we're probably going to do a full circle and head back here. We might see another fake out and then go back into this range and continue to go up higher. And finally, to conclude, we are not heading into a bear market. We are not. It's too early. It's way too early to call a bear market. We just kissed 100K. We had a meteoric rise. It's too early. Too early to call a bear market. And the only reason why some participants are getting very, very scared is because there's newer and newer people heading into the space. They see drawdowns like this, their voices are amplified, and you're just newer participants in the space. We were here during a bear market. I don't know if this is your second cycle, your third cycle, but this is just another day in crypto. That's it for now. Make sure to join our private members. It's only a click away. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you want to make some gains and keep them, join our private members. Peace.